You, it's official, like a referee with a whistle. So today, I'm gonna talk about the definition of game and questions that I've been getting a lot lately about, certain words mean certain things, certain people, and you know. So, one of the questions I got is somebody asked, "Hey, what's the definition of game? Is it just playing tricks on people, or manipulating people, or because I think the person might have read one of my books, and I guess he was like, is this manipulating people? No. Game is, in a nutshell, game is just finding a way to get things done by willing participants. It's just a list of protocols, finding ways to get things done by willing participants. That's it. No one's forcing anybody to do anything. It's just finding a way to get things done. And most of this is based on principles, rules, integrity. It's nothing manipulative about it. Not forcing anybody to do anything. Everybody's willing and able and willing, to do whatever. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's down for the get down. That's what the game is. Trying to stay ahead 2 to 5 steps ahead of the degenerates and weirdos and freaks, and staying in your lane. That's what it's really all about, really. And trying to be your best self, trying to do some fly shit, and staying out the way. You know what I'm saying? That's what it's about for me. Yeah, it's not about tricking women and taking advantage of women and pimping the bitch, and no. Now, pimping and hoeing, that's a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? And that's another thing. When people use words out of context today. I give you an example. When someone says somebody's a hoe, that means she have sex with guys for money, right? Now today, when someone say a girl's a hoe, they mean that she's having sex with a lot of guys, right? But that's not a hoe. That's really a slut. Yeah, that's really a slut. A slut has sex with a bunch of guys for fun. That's the difference between a hoe and a slut. A hoe gets paid. A slut does it for fun. You know what I'm saying? You see, a lot of people use these words and phrases out of context, and a lot of the they I think a lot of people don't want it to sound bad. It sounds bad when you say someone's a hoe, or a slut, So instead of saying, I remember back in the day, they wouldn't say someone a girl's a slut. Well, they would say she's a home wrecker. That's what they would say. Or a heifer. That's what my mom would say. Because they wouldn't say slut. See, the slut sounds bad to most people. A matter of, you won't even hear anybody say publicly that someone's a slut. I have never heard anybody say it publicly. I've never been in a conversation with somebody and say, yeah, she's a low down dirty slut. You don't hear that. People don't talk like that. That's usually a word that's said in private because it doesn't sound good to most people. You know, if you say, oh, she's a home wrecker, see, that doesn't sound bad. Or, you know, or she's a heifer, or that heifer. Most people don't know what that means because that's kind of an old slang word when you say heifer. But most people today don't know what that means. In order for somebody to know what that means, you have to be my age or older. You know what I'm saying? To know. Young people don't know what that means. You know, if you say that, oh, that heifer, if you say that in front of a young person, they'll be looking like, what the hell are you talking about? Because they don't know, you know. But they know what slut means, though. And that doesn't sound good to them. So they'll use it with they'll exchange it with another word. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of people use things out of context today, you know. And I'm not a whole hater, by the way. You know, I think there's some women need to stop having a bunch of sex like that. I mean, if you're going to do it like that, just get paid for it. I mean, if you're going to do it like that. Because to me, that doesn't make no sense to be a slut. What are you trying to do? What are you trying to accomplish? It's not productive trying to be a slut, in my opinion. Now I've had conversations with some women, they say, oh, it's sexual liberation, it's empowering. It's nothing empowering about running through a bunch of guys. I mean, these women are running through men and women. There's nothing empowering about that. If there is, I don't know what it could be. Maybe it's a psychological type of thing, but I don't see any benefits. You know, I don't know. Maybe it's if you want to move it up, maybe in a job environment. Okay, yeah. But these women that I have seen running through guys, they're not getting anything out of it. There's no benefit. It's just for fun. So these are the women that I'm talking about. They should just get paid for it. They should be a full-fledged hoe. You should be the best you can be. You know what I'm saying? It's just maybe it's just me, though. You know. Now you got some people will say they're a stripper. If you're a stripper, you're just a hoe because you're still hoeing. Because in that strip club, these women, most of these women, have sex with the dudes. Now they might not do it that night, but they'll do it. You know, they'll meet up with them another time, or on the weekends, or take trips or something like that together. But that's still hoeing because they get paid for sex. So you can't really get caught up in the word play. Escort, same thing. You're still a hoe. Get paid for sex. Now let me tell you the argument that some girls will make. I don't have sex with all the guys. We know that. But you have sex with some of the guys. But you're still a hoe because you took the money. And then the escorts will say, well, I'm like a eye candy with the guy. We go to awards together, graduation together, or party together, and I just got paid for my time. Okay, that's one guy though. What about the rest of the guys? Every guy ain't looking at you like eye candy. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's the argument some females try to make. Every guy every guy don't need no woman on their arms at a party. Some guys wants to smash. Most guys want to smash, and that's where the money's coming from. You know what I'm saying? The majority of her money's coming from. So she's a hoe at the end of the day. You can try to mix and match and make it sound good all you want. So escort, that doesn't sound bad to most people. But we know what it is. It's like a stripper. Stripper, it kind of sounds bad now. but before, no. You know. So people will exchange every so often. People will just exchange the word, but it's still the same thing. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, really. You know, well, people do this shit all the time. This is nothing new. People do it all the time, or whatever. You know. But again, I'm not a whole hater at all. You know. But I just think, to me, it just doesn't make any sense. For a woman to be running through a bunch of guys and ain't getting paid for it. Oh, I'm doing it for fun. Okay, doesn't make no sense, but that makes sense to me. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, but I wouldn't advise it at all. I wouldn't advise no woman to get the hoeing or no woman to be a slut either. That's another thing. You know what I'm saying? But at the same time, if you're going to do it, you might as well get paid. Really. Because the guys ain't going to respect you. That's never going to happen. So, Now, another thing that I see today is there's guys that get married to hoes. They'll marry them. There's guys that'll, believe it or not, they'll marry a stripper. I've seen it. I mean, I didn't go to the wedding, but I'm just saying, I've seen it, heard about it. There's guys that marry an escort, and he knows, all about her past and everything. There's guys that do it. I've seen that too. Yeah, it happens. Believe it or not, but but when it comes to there's a kind of double standard with that too, because see, if when it comes to some pimping, right, some pimp shit, that's kind of looked down upon. But being an escort or a hoe is not really looked down upon. And when it comes to guys, this is guys only. This is not women. This is not women. Forget about the women for a second. When it comes to most guys, what's interesting, they have a problem with the pimps. It ain't a lot of pimps. There's not a lot of pimps out there like it used to be. But it used to, when I was growing up, what I would see is they have a problem with the pimps getting money out of women. What that means is the women are having sex with the guys and bringing the money back to the pimp, to the guy, right? Now, a lot of guys have a problem with that, but they don't really have a problem with the woman. They don't really have a problem with the stripper or with the girl being an escort. They don't really have a problem with that. I find that to be very interesting. Kind of maybe hypocritical in some type of ways, but the conclusion I came to is, I think a lot of guys kind of envy the pimps, and then you have some guys that have paid for sex. That's what I think that stems from. It's a very interesting take, perception, I would say. Now when it comes to now some people, I got a question over there. Dude was like, hey, well, what's the difference between a Mac and a gigolo? Oh, this is a good one. Now a gigolo is somebody that have sex with a woman for money at the end of the day. Now you can try to dress it up the way you want and say she's paying for his time or whatever. But that, now they might not have sex every time, but they have sex majority of the time. And he still gets paid regardless, whether they have sex or not. You know, he's now this doesn't necessarily have to be direct money, like money in the hand. It could be she takes him shopping or some shit like that. You know what I'm saying? Now some people will say, well, that's a sugar mama. Well, yeah, it could it could be looked upon like that as well. You know, so this happens too. You know, but from a man's point of view, a gigolo is somebody that has a bunch of women, and the women is giving him money. This is like an arrangement. You know, it's man, you have agencies out here of guys. People have an agency, and they have like this is in private. This is like something that never gets talked about. People have agencies worldwide of gigolos and women that just looking for a good time, and they know who to call to make it happen. And they pay their money up front. I think a certain amount of money up front. The guy shows up and he gets the rest of the money. And they do their thing and have a nice day. That's usually how that works, you know. But that would be considered a gigolo, you know. Now, the version that I just described earlier, where it could be like this too. It could be a guy that's solo, you know, because a guy, kind of a Mac. I give you an example. A Mac could be a guy that he's a guy that's kind of he understands how to talk to women in order to get what he wants from them, right? So he know how to spit, right? He know how to spit game. Plus, he have sex sometimes too with the woman. You know what I'm saying? So being a gigolo and being a Mac is very similar. It's very similar, but the only difference is Mac is not really a part of an organization. A gigolo is usually part of an organization. It's like a job. You know what I'm saying? He gets calls. He got to show up at a certain day and time. A Mac is solo. A Mac goes to the club, spits game to a woman, you know, and he interacts with the woman, gets to know them, gets what he wants out of them, and whether he chooses to have sex with them, that's on him. But the gigolo, if the woman wants sex, he has to have sex. So it's organized. You know what I'm saying? That's the difference between the gigolo and the Mac. So sometimes they can be doing the same thing, but for Mac, he's solo. Nothing guaranteed. It's not organized. You know what I'm saying? That's a big difference. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's how it is, you know. So all of this is really part of the game. You know what I'm saying? But see, I was taught when I was growing up, I was taught to spit, talk to a woman. Don't lead with money, you know, and don't do anything that you can't keep up. That's probably the number one rule. when I was growing up. Don't do anything that you can't keep up. You know what I'm saying? Because if you can't keep it up, that makes you look like a liar and a fraud. You're trying to be somebody that you can't be. You perpetrate the fraud, like some people like to say. You know what I'm saying? But, you know, that's usually how it go out here. You know, it's the game is cold out here. But it's pretty fair. And once you have to be self-aware. Self-aware, you know you understand what's going on. You know, everything usually works itself out. You know what I'm saying? That's usually how it go. So hey, hopefully this episode clarifies things, helps you understand some of the words, some of the phrases that a lot of people use out of context. I gave you you know, a version of where it stems from versus how it is today. Like, share this episode, tell me what you think. And P.S. and by the way, don't forget to go check out my best-selling book, Love at First Click, on Amazon.com. Any questions, any concerns, check out my website. I'll be sure to put the links in the show notes. Until next time, I'm out. Peace.
Most men don't struggle with women, they struggle with who they've become. Attraction isn't luck, it's how you show up. Your habits, your mindset, your standards. When those change, everything changes. This isn't about tricks or lines. It's about becoming the man women naturally want. Love can't wait. The time to change is now. Become the best man any woman wants. Available now on Amazon. Get your copy today.